Welcome to today's Cursive Yoga Short. When you're ready, go ahead and come to standing near the front of your mat, lining your feet up with each other, a comfortable distance width apart, knees facing forward, second, third toes face forward. Shift your weight forward and back in your feet. And then go ahead and come to a place where the weight feels pretty balanced between the front and the back of your feet, and wiggle your toes. With your next inhale, go ahead and lift your toes up, feeling the arches of the feet lifting up with your toes. Spread the toes nice and wide apart if they'll move for you, and then lowering the toes down to the ground, but keeping the arches lifting. Press down through any part of your foot that's not an arch, but feel a pulling up through the arches of the feet into your leg muscles, moving up to your knee joints. Let your knee joints be soft. Move up to your hips. Engage the muscles of the pelvic floor, pulling up. Engage the muscles around your hips, hugging in. Come up to your core, feel the low ribs hugging in and up. Hands together in front of the heart. Shoulders gently toward each other on the back. Head and neck in line with the rest of the spine. Root from the hips down into the earth through the feet and come into the flow of the breath, feeling the air on the nostrils and feeling the lungs moving with the breath. Then, as you're ready, take a deep, full breath in and exhale out. Deep, full breath in. Exhaling out through the mouth. Deep, full breath in. And exhale out one more time through the mouth. So you can keep that constriction of the throat to make the ha sound. Close your lips, breathing now through the nose, and come into Ujjayi breathing. So with that constriction of the throat, your breath might become audible and you could hear the sound of your breath. Now, if anything I instruct doesn't work for your body, just leave it out. Everything's an invitation, not a command. But settling into the flow of the breath and just feeling the breath move through you, maybe listening to the breath. We will go ahead and we'll start with the Om. So you can exhale, emptying the lungs out. Inhale deeply. Om. Exhaling, releasing the arms to the side, moving through the shoulders. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale, lower the arms back to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide, reach up high. Left hand can grab right wrist. Exhale, leaning over to your left. Inhale, up to center. Right hand, left wrist. Exhale to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale to the left. Inhale to center. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale to the right. Inhale to center. Exhale the hands to the hips. Soften your knees. And then inhale, tuck your hips under. And exhale, tilt them back. Inhale, tuck the hips under. Exhale, tilt them back, only going as far as feels good for your hips or your back. Exhale, tuck your hips under. Inhale, tilt them back. Now come to a place where the hips are a little bit back, but not that much. This is neutral. So neutral isn't hips way back, but nor is it a tuck under the tailbone. It's a gentle, even spot. From the spot, press down through your feet. Come back up to standing. And then exhale, release your hands to the sides. With your knees a little bit soft, inhale, act like you're going to reach way far down in front of you, pivoting at the hips. And then exhale and come back up to standing. Inhale, reaching forward, pivoting at the hips. Exhale, back up to standing. Inhale, reaching forward, pivoting at the hips. Maybe fingers come down to the ground, way forward out in front of you. Bend your knees as much as you need to. If your hands aren't quite down, if they're hovering, that's fine. Feel the breath moving through you here. And then with your next exhale, if you want to, you can slowly walk your hands back for the feet, gently letting the back round, or bring your hands up to your own legs. Then inhale, slide the hands up higher, lengthening. Exhale and sliding down, folding it. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen, holding this extension. spine position. Feel your core nice and strong. Press down through your feet. Come all the way up to standing. Hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back. Feel the breath moving through you. Maybe that ujjayi breathing, listening to the breath. And then exhale, release the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide, reach up high. You can look up at your thumbs. Exhale, pivoting at the hips with a long spine until near the end, folding forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come wide, reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. One more time. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come wide, reach all the way up toward the sky. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Bend your knees, hands to the hips. Inhale, tilt the hips under. Exhale, release just to neutral, so not tilting the back. Inhale, tilt the hips under. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, tilt the hips under. Exhale, neutral, press down to the feet, come back up. And then here, think of the bottom tips of the shoulder blades, the top of your sternum. Inhale, just a small lift up to the chest, not moving the head so much. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift up to the chest. Exhale, release by pushing those bottom tips of the shoulder blades up. Lift up to the chest. Exhale, release. Now with your hips in neutral, inhale, bend your knees. Act like you're sitting back in a chair. Knees as wide apart as your feet. Exhale, back up to standing. Inhale, Utkatasana. So you're not tucking the hips under nor releasing them back. Exhale, back up. Inhale, Utkatasana. Now without tucking the tailbone under, move the whole hip unit and try to come more upright. So the tailbone does move forward, but it's because the whole hip is moving and not just a tuck. Breathing here. And then press down to your feet, come all the way up to standing. Hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back, feel the breath. Release the hands. Inhale, Utkatasana. One more time, shift the weight into your right foot. And then with control, so it might take a few breaths, big step back with that left foot. Your back heel can be up or down. Take a moment here, leaning forward, right knee on top of the ankle, tracking towards second, third toe. Press down through both feet, hug into your hips. And like before, not so much tucking the tailbone under, but moving the whole hips as a unit. Use that to come upright. Feel the muscles of the pelvic floor lifting up. And if you want to, you can look up at your hands. Warrior One, Virabhadrasana 1, breathing here. Nice full deep breaths. And then leaning back forward, press strongly through that right foot, left foot forward. I lied about that one more Utkatasana because we have to do the second side. Hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back. Inhale, Utkatasana, shift your weight into your left foot. And then see if you can slowly take a really big step back with that right foot with control. Then leaning forward, left knee around top of the ankle, tracking towards the second or third toe. Press down through both feet, hug into your hips, and slowly moving the whole hips, coming upright. Only as much as feels good for your hips and your low back though. Press from your hips into the earth. Feel the muscles of the pelvic floor engaging, low ribs lift in and up. Maybe gaze gently goes up, hands could be apart or all the way together. Breathing here, Virabhadrasana 1. And then go ahead and lean back forward, press down to that left foot, right foot forward. Hands together in front of the heart, shoulders together on the back. Feel the breath moving through you. Exhale, release the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees deeply, hands on the ground. Walk your feet back into a big downward V-shaped, downward facing dog. Pressing the hips up, back away from the hands. Exhale, bend the right knee, stretch out to the left leg. And then bend the left knee, stretching out to the right leg. Just staying with your breath. You can also, as you bend your knee, let that hip drop. So as I bend the left knee, I can let the left hip drop and bend the right knee, let the right hip drop, twisting the hips a little side to side. Coming back to center, lowering the knees down, coming to all fours. Now, whenever you're weight bearing in the hands, just like we were in the previous pose, you want to shift the weight forward to the front of the hands, almost as though you're going to lift your wrists up without actually doing so. So keep that action in your hands. Inhale, stretch your spine long. Exhale, round the back, look at your navel. Inhale, arch the back, head and tailbone up to the sky. You can keep doing this, or you can add circling through the hips. So you're exhaling, rounding, and inhale, arching, but you're drawing a circle back on the wall behind you with your tailbone, which causes your whole spine to twist laterally or to circle laterally. Your elbows might need to be soft for those lateral spinal circles. And then go ahead and draw the circles in the other direction. Coming back to center and making your way back into a child's pose. Feet together, knees a little bit apart, hips towards heel, hips towards heel, head towards ground. Gently letting the background breathing here. Slide your way forward to your belly, hands to either side of the chest, pressing down through the hips. Act like you're dragging your hands back a little bit. Inhale, the right leg lifts just an inch or two. Stretch back through that leg. Exhale, lower back down. Both hips staying on the ground. Inhale, left leg lifts. Stretch long through that leg. Exhale, lower back down. Stretching long through both legs with the feet on the ground. Lift up through your hands. And inhale, curl the bottom just of the shoulder blades up. Lifting up through the chest. Exhale and lower back down. Inhale, bottom just of the shoulder blades. Curl the chest up. Exhale and lower. Inhale, curling up. Stay lifted through the shoulders, curling up through the chest. Exhale, lower the hands down. And act like you're going to drag the hands back, pulling the chest forward through the shoulder blades here. And if you want to keep pulling that chest forward, inhale, lifting up a little bit higher. Exhale and lower back down. Inhale, lifting up a little bit higher. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale and lift. Exhale and lower. Inhale up to all fours, weight in the front of your hands. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can maybe even play with inhale, seeing if you can float the wrists up here for a moment. Exhale, lower them back down, but act like you're going to lift them up. And then look forward at your hands, bend your knees, walk the feet towards the hands. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms come wide, reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Feel the breath moving through you. Inhale, arms come wide, reach up high. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees deeply. Step back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shoulders forward over the wrist. Plank pose, engaging through the core, bottom tips of the shoulder blades on the back. Exhale, lift the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale forward into a plank pose. You might have to wiggle the feet back a little bit. Exhale, lower the knees down so they're a little bit back behind your hips, and then point your toes. And then inhale, pull the chest forward through the shoulders, letting the hips slowly lower towards the ground, only as much as feels good for your low back. Exhale, hips back towards your feet, only as much as feels good for your knees. Inhale, hips forward, shoulders back, modified up dog. Exhale, hips back towards your feet. Inhale, chest pulling through those shoulders. And then exhale with your shoulders on the back, lower all the way down. Press down through your hips, stretch long through the legs. Pull the chest forward through the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up here. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale to all fours. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, lower the left heel to the ground. Exhale, step your right foot as close to the hands as works for you. Inhale, step the right foot back. Exhale, lift the left heel up. Inhale, lower the right heel down, right toes turn a little bit to the right. Exhale, step the foot forward. Inhale, step the foot back. Exhale, right heel up. Inhale, left toes to the left. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, left heel up. Inhale, right heel down. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, left foot back. Exhale, right heel lifts. Inhale, left heel down. Exhale, foot forward. Inhale, right foot back. Exhale, left heel lifts. Inhale, right heel down. Exhale, left foot forward. Press strongly to that left foot. Step the right foot forward too. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come wide. Reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands together in front of the heart. Feel the breath moving through you. Exhale, release the hands to the sides. Inhale, arms come wide and reach up high. Exhale and fold. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Bend the knees, step back into a plank pose, shoulders over the wrists. And then with your next exhale, lower the knees down and bend them. Elbows pointing towards the back of the room, shoulders on the back, ribs hug in, and then exhale, bending the elbows, inhale, and lifting back up. Shoulders, the furthest you go down is shoulders level to elbows. So exhale and bend, Inhale, lift back up, but you can go less or you can leave this out. Exhale and bend. Inhale, lift back up. Next time we'll hold if you can hold. Exhale, bend, hold here. And keeping your shoulders where they are, just let the hips lower down. Then go ahead, straighten the legs, lengthening back through the legs, pull the chest through the shoulders. Inhale and lift up. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, up to all fours. Exhale, back to a downward facing dog. Inhale, turn the right toes to the right a little bit, right heel down. Exhale, step the left foot forward. And then inhale, pressing down through the feet, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, lower all the way back down. Inhale, left foot back, downward facing dog. Exhaling here. Inhale, left heel down. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. Exhale, lower the hands back down. Press strongly through the right foot, step the left foot forward. Inhale and lengthen. Exhale and fold. Inhale, arms come wide, reach all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, hands back to the hips. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Exhale and release. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift up through the chest. Exhale, release. Breathing here, hands together in front of the heart. Shoulders gently towards each other on the back. Okay, let your knees bend a little bit. And go ahead and again, just inhale, tuck your hips under. Inhale, release. Now with your hips in neutral, so not tucking them under, bring the hands to the tops of the thighs. And what I want you to feel here, I want you to press your inner thighs especially back a little bit. So if your thighs roll out, your knees try to roll out. So you're keeping your knees facing forward, inner thighs pressing back, pressing down right behind the big toe mound. And then inhale, you're going to sway the hips forward and exhale and back. Now you're not going to so much tilt the hips, but you're going to keep them in neutral, spine lengthening out of the hips. Inhale, sway the hips forward. Exhale and back. Inhale, sway the hips forward. Lift up through the bottoms of the shoulder blades. Feel the chest lifting up. And then if you want to, hands to your hips. Keep lifting up through the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and start to curl the chest up to the sky. The legs might straighten, but inner thighs still pressing back. Breathe. And then inhale, come all the way back up. And open your legs to face the side, nice and wide apart. Take a moment, line your knees so they're facing forward, second toes facing forward. Hug in from your feet to your hips. And then turn your left toes towards the right toes all the way out to the right. Inhale the hands up to a T. Exhale, lean into the right hip. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, lean into your right hip. Keep the underside of your body fairly extended. Lower the right hand someplace comfortable. The left hand can lengthen out of the shoulder socket. So if your chest is turning down a little bit, then the hand won't be reaching up toward the sky. It'll just be reaching out of the shoulder socket. Breathing wherever works for you. Take a moment, line your head and neck up with the rest of the spine, and then exhale, looking gently down as long as that feels okay for your neck, and inhale, looking up. Breathe. Press down through your feet, come all the way up. Looking at that right knee, track it towards the second or third toe. Exhale and bend, and just looking over the right fingers, warrior two, Virabhadrasana 2. And then exhale, go ahead, release, soften the left knee. Right toes turn towards the left. Left toes turn all the way out. Inhale, hands up to a T. Exhale, leaning into that left hip, keeping the right leg fairly straight, but if you need to bend it a little bit, that's fine. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, leaning into that left hip, left hand wherever is comfortable, right hand, arm reaching out of the shoulder socket. So again, if for your hips you need to turn the chest more down, that's fine. Arm just reaches out of the shoulder socket. Breathe. Lining the head and neck up with the rest of the spine. Then exhale, go ahead and look down. And inhale and look up. Breathing here. Pressing down through your feet. Rise up through the torso. Left knee tracks towards second or third toe. Go ahead and bend that knee. Looking over the left fingers. Nice, full, deep breaths. And then exhale, go ahead, release, soften the knees. All 10 toes facing forward. Knees a little bit soft though. Inhale, act like you're gonna reach way forward out in front of you. Exhale, back up, nice long spine. Inhale, act like you're gonna reach way forward out in front of you. Bend your knees enough that hands might come to the ground. If you need to prop your hands up on blocks or books or a stool, you could also do that. With your knees a little bit soft, so not straightening the legs yet. Shift the weight to the back of your heels and just stretch those hips up, back, away from you, getting a lot of length in the low back. Feel free to stay here. Or bring as much weight to the front of your foot as the back of your foot. Walk your hands back towards your feet. And you can straighten the legs as you fold in if you would like to, if that feels good for you. And then inhale, walk your hands back forward. Knees back to soft, engage your core. Nice long spine all the way up to standing. Heel toe, the feet in towards each other. Check out the legs. Turn and face the long or narrow end of the mat. Hands to the tops of the thighs, inner thighs. Feel those spinning back a little bit. Not so much your knees locked though, so knees are soft. Hips in neutral, lengthen the spine out of the hips. Inhale, hips forward. Exhale, back. Inhale, hips forward. Bottom tips of the shoulder blades lift up. Bring the arms just forward. Arm bones into the shoulder socket, shoulders on the back. And then start to use the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and curl the chest up towards the sky. Breathing here. Legs might straighten. Tops of the thighs go back. You might want to take your hands to the back of the legs. Nice, full, deep breaths. And then press down through your feet. Come all the way up to standing. Inhale, arms come wide, reach up high. You can interlace the hands, turn the palms away from you with the elbows bent, root from the hips down into the earth, and then slowly extend the arms only as straight as feels good for you. Inhale, slide the shoulders up towards the ears if that doesn't bother your neck. Exhale, slide them away. Inhale, slide the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, slide the shoulders away. Inhale, slide the shoulders up towards the ears. Exhale, happy medium. Release your fingers. Left hand grabs right wrist. Exhaling over to the left. Inhale, up to center. Right hand, left wrist. Exhale to the right. Inhale, up to center. Exhale, release the hands to the sides. Knees soft. Exhale, pivoting at the hips. Reaching for the ground, way forward, out in front of you, fold. And again, with your knees soft, stretch those hips up, back, away from you a little bit, getting length in the spine. And then you can walk your hands towards the feet and fold in. If you want to straighten the legs, you can. If you prefer to keep the knees bent and to grab opposite elbows and just let your back get a little bit of traction now, you can do that. Maybe gently moving. Come back to center. Release the hands down and make your way back into a downward facing dog. Pressing those hips up, back, away from you. Inhale, shoulders forward over the wrist, plank pose. Exhale, lower the knees down, shoulder blades on the back. And then here, exhale, bend the elbows to a place you can hold if possible. Inhale and lift back up. Exhale and bend, core engaged, shoulder blades on the back. Inhale, lift back up. We're going to bend and hold. Exhale, bend and hold. And then lower the hips down, but keep your shoulders where they are. Point your toes. Pull the chest through the shoulders. Inhale, lifting up here. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, up to all fours. Exhale, back to a downward facing dog. Breathing here. Then inhale, back forward into a plank. Exhale, lower the knees. We're going to hover the bottom of the push-up, chaturanga again. So when you're ready, core engaged, shoulder blades on the back. Bend the elbows, hold. And then without lowering maybe the hips down, pull the chest through the shoulders, point the toes. Modified up dog. So we're still on our knees. We're not all the way lifted up, although you could press down through your feet and lift the knees up if you wanted to. Breathing here, but feeling that chest pulling through the shoulders. And then exhale, lower down and come all the way down to your belly. Rest your head on the hands, gently rock the hips from side to side. And then coming back to center here. Arms to either side of the chest. Knees outer hip distance apart. Press down through your hips so strongly, then lift up through the shoulders and chest. And you're going to keep rooting down through the hips so much that when you bend your knees, the low back muscles do not contract on you. And then exhale and straighten. If you need to do this with your chest on the ground, though, that is fine. Exhale and bend your knees, hips pressing down. Inhale and straighten. Exhale, bend the knees. If you want to, float the hands up. If the feet are close, you can grab the feet and you can kick the feet up, back away from you. Dhanurasana. And then go ahead and release. Coming back down and make your way into a child's pose as you're ready. Come up to sitting. Go ahead, have something you can use as a strap. So it can be whatever. It can be a rope, it can be a belt, whatever you have lying around. It can even be a shirt that's not too stretchy. Hug the left knee into the chest, right leg forward, right knee and toes up to the sky. As you hug that left knee in, you're using that to pull your spine nice and upright. So you're using that hugging in to help sit nice and tall. You might have to move the left foot over to the left to do that. Then take the right arm across the left leg, left hand back behind you, and twist. Breathing here. Then inhale, unwind. Take the left foot to the inner edge of the right thigh, letting that knee open to the side. If the knee's really high, you might want to slide under something underneath it, or you might even want to slide something underneath your hips, if your hips in general feel tight. And then from here, you can grab whatever you're using, loop the ball of your right foot, and inhale, pulling back on that, whatever you're using, strap if you have a yoga strap. Sit up nice and tall here. So using that to make sure your hips aren't tucked under, but instead trying to come to sitting up nice and tall. You might need to bend the right knee a little bit to untuck your hips, and that's fine. Feel free to stay here, or gently, again, letting the hips tilt, come into a forward fold. And inhale, come back upright. And second side. So left leg forward, left knee and toe points up to the sky. Hug the right leg in, sit up nice and tall. Turning to the right. Line your head and neck up with the rest of the spine. And just gently turning your head to look over the right shoulder. If you're feeling really stable here, you can lift the right hand up and still try to use those core muscles to lift the low back in and up and keep the length in the spine. Then inhale, unwind, open the right leg to the right, use the strap, lasso around the ball of the left foot, pulling back on the foot, untucking your hips if they're tucked under, so bend the left knee enough, move those hips back, untucking them, sitting up nice and tall, and then if you want to, exhale and fold. And then go ahead and come back up, looping the balls of both feet, pulling back on the strap, sitting up nice and tall, and then exhale again, letting the hips tilt. You might wiggle them a little bit to help them tilt as you fold. Inhale, come back up. Lower the strap to the side. Bring the hands back behind you. Lift up to the low back, open to the chest, open to the throat. Breathing here. Fingers either facing forward or out to the sides. And then go ahead and come back up. Slide your way so there's plenty of mat back behind you. Bring your arms up. Now, if it doesn't bother your low back, go ahead and tuck your tailbone under and roll vertebrae by vertebrae all the way down. Once you're down, you might need to adjust. Hug the knees into the chest, coming into a ball, gently rocking. And then come back to center with your knees deeply bent. Lower the feet to the ground about hip distance apart. Bring the arms along the sides. Hips are back to neutral, so not tucked under nor tilted back. Inhale the shoulders up towards the ears. Wiggle the shoulder blades underneath you. And with your chin in neutral, press the back of your head down. Then inhale, lift up through the chest using the bottom tips of the shoulder blades and the sternum. Keep your hips in neutral. With your next inhale, stretch your knees forward to lift your hips up. Hips stretch in one direction, chest in the other. Exhale and lower back down. Inhale, knees stretch straight forward. Lift the hips up. Chest stretches in the opposite direction. Exhale, lower back down. Inhale, lifting up, holding here. If you want to, you can grab the outside edges of your mat with your hands. Act like you're going to pull the mat apart a little bit. Wiggle the shoulders underneath you more. Stretching the knees forward, stretching the chest back, bridge pose. And that stretching the knees forward instead of opening them wide to the side, that's the same thing we were doing in the standing back bend. So think of maybe the inner thighs spiraling down towards the ground a little bit, pressing down firmly through the inner edges of your feet as you stretch the knees forward and breathe here. Then exhale, lower the hips back down. Bring the hands to the tops of your thighs. Gently press the thighs away from you as you sway the knees from side to side. And then grab that, whatever you're using to strap yourself or to loop your foot. Loop around the right foot. Bring both legs, if you can, towards the ground. Now, if whatever you're using isn't long enough to bring the right leg to the ground, that's actually fine. You just want the right leg low enough that you can hopefully straighten it almost all the way as you press the left leg down. Then keeping the right leg straight, pull the leg in towards you. Hips are in neutral, pressing down. Shoulders are pressing down right now into the ground. Chin in neutral, back of the head is pressing down. Then with my right arm fairly straight, I'm going to grab up high on the strap. I'm going to lasso the strap, both ends around my right hand, and then I'm going to pin my right shoulder into the ground for a moment. My left hand I'm going to bring to my left hip, press the left hip down, and then exhale, engage more my core and lift the head and shoulders up. Breathing here. The whole time with this left hand, I'm pressing the left thigh, the left leg into the ground. And then exhale, go ahead and release. Pressing out through my right foot, lower the right leg down. And then I can slide the left foot into the strap, the right foot out of the strap. Right hand to the right hip, reminding myself to press the right leg down as I lift the left leg up. Now once I lift it, I will walk my hands up the strap. Left arm fairly straight, grabbing someplace comfortable, looping the hand around the strap, and then pinning my shoulder down. Right hand to the hip, remembering to press that down. Breathing here, and then maybe engaging my core and lifting head and shoulders up. Exhale, go ahead, release. Press the left foot out into the strap and lowering that leg down. And then go ahead, put the strap over to the side. Hug the knees into the chest, coming into a ball, gently rocking. And then maybe opening the knees wider apart, stretching long through the spine. And then from here, I can flip the feet up toward the sky, holding onto the back of the knees, the lower legs, or the feet. Pulling the knees to the ground on either side of the torso as I rock from side to side, happy baby pose. Coming back to center, full body stretch. Arms up above the head, legs along the ground, lengthening everything out. And then finishing with just a few minutes of Shavasana. Arms by the sides, palms face up. Legs opening wider apart than the hips. Releasing here. If leg straight bothers your low back, feel free to bend the knees and have the feet to the ground, or any other variation where you're comfortable, spine is pretty neutral, and you're supported. Then soften or close your eyes and come back to your breath. With every exhale, just let yourself release. Let any muscles that feel like they're gripping or grasping, let go. Let the bones feel heavy. Let the skin feel soft. And whenever you're as relaxed as you're going to get, let go of the breath. And give yourself however much time you need here to just let go and to rest. I'm going to finish this session, but stay in Shavasana as long as you want. When you are ready to come out, you'll start with small movements, wiggling fingers and toes, circling ankles and wrists, stretching arms and legs, and then hugging knees into chest, coming into balls, rocking, making your way over onto your side, traditionally right, pausing, chest turns towards the ground, and then easing your way up to sitting. And again, you stay in Shavasana as long as you want. I'll end this with a Om. Hands together in front of the heart. Exhaling. Inhale. Thank you.